Hi guys, Jess here with the Scrappy Sisters. So today I am doing the sketch challenge for Kitaholics kits, and I am using the May kit and the May sketch challenge. So as you can see, it is absolutely a beautiful collection. It's got a few shimmel things in it, and it's got some of the collection of, I think it's called Lovely Day. So it's a little bit of a mixture of different things in this collection. It's this kit. It's not just one full collection. It's got a couple, as I said, of the shimmel and of the Lovely Day. So I had the sketch there at the start of the video, as you can see that I was following, and I stuck really pretty closely to the sketch and just used all the bits and bobs out of the kit to form this layout that was pretty much identical to the sketch there. So as you can see, I've got the shimmel ephemera pack, and I just like to look through and see what I think I might use and what I won't use, and put the things that I don't think I will use off to the side. The sketch was originally a 2-photo sketch, and I only had one image in this series that I wanted to keep together. So I decided to cut one of the tags out and use that as the second photograph. I really just have a little bit of a fiddle and a little bit of a play to see what I like best in the layout and what I want to put where and how I want things to go. And I'm fairly sure I want to use this beautiful navy and gold paper, but I'm a big hoarder and I don't like to cut into... I have this problem where I don't like to use full pages of coloured paper. I generally like to do my layouts on white, and I also don't want to cut into the paper that's really, really beautiful. So I kind of end up with these gorgeous full pieces of paper that I don't use because I'm hopeless. So I was considering using the grey with white spots, and went, don't be silly, this paper is gorgeous. You've got to cut into it and use this paper. So I've cut into it, I've got it started, and now that it's started, there'll be no problems using it. It's just doing that first initial cut that I'm terrible at. So as you can see, I'm also incorporating the branding strip. I just thought the colours, the ombre effect, and that was just beautiful, that I wanted to try and utilise it if I could into this layout. The layout also had some circle designs there, and I considered getting my sewing machine out, but I knew I wouldn't be able to do a perfect circle, and in this layout that's what I wanted. And you could hand draw or hand stitch, but I was being a bit lazy and couldn't be bothered. I think when I love it when I look at other people's hand drawing, but when I hand draw I feel it just looks messy, so I decided I didn't want to risk messing up the layout by doing that. So now I'm just trying to figure out the placement of these circles and where I want the branding strip to go. I think the branding strip's really pretty, so I don't want to hide too much of it behind the circles. I want it to sort of be more in the foreground. And I just keep referring back to the sketch at this point and looking at what the sketch is sort of asking for. It says it wants a subtitle down in sort of the bottom, near where the today is. It wants that subtitle, and that's why I'm trying to work out what I'm going to put down there. And where I've put the here and now, it had sort of 2 banners in it in the sketch. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of things I want to put there. I don't really do journaling on my 12x12 layouts, mostly because I don't like my handwriting. So I was just trying to see what it is that I can include in instead of journaling. Sorry, got a little bit distracted because I was thinking about telling you that I don't do handwritten journaling on my 12x12 layouts, but I do a mixture of Project Life and 12x12 layouts. So this photograph goes with whatever week it is that I'm up to in my Project Life. So in my Project Life journaling, I kind of do, using the Becky Higgins app, I basically write, it's a double page spread for my Project Life, and on each page I have one full 3x4 photograph that is just full of journaling, and it's basically like my diary. for the week. It's nothing personal or private. It's like what we did during the week. And I just stick that across. I put one on both sides. So whatever is happening in this photo will have been written about in that journaling card, because this 12 by 12 spread will be in the middle of the layout, if that makes sense. I'm talking, but I probably should just show you. So it's half of the week Project Life, 12 by 12 layout, double-sided, and then the other half of the week Project Life. And I do that for every single week of the year. And if I don't make my layouts too fat, I can fit a year in two 12 by 12 albums. If we do something special, like we've just recently been to Vietnam and came back, I did include a really minuscule amount of Vietnam photos into this family album, but I will be doing a separate 8 by 10 album that'll just be packed full of Vietnam, because otherwise, if I try and include as much as I actually want of Vietnam in the real album, it will get way too fat and I'll end up with a third one anyway. So this way I'm happier with it being this way and just having a mini album of the holiday. So yeah, so back to what I'm doing here. I've just got the two inks, MEMENTO inks. They're two different blues, and I'm sorry, I have not a clue what blue they are, and I'm nowhere near my inking station, so I apologise that I'm sitting in the lounge room and my craft room is out the back. So I'm sorry that I can't tell you that. If you would really love to know, I can look it up and leave it in the comments. Actually, I'll put it in the description box. So if you'd really like to know, it'll be in the description box. So yeah, I just printed with those inks onto the plastic, added a little bit of water, mixed them up with one of my pens, and that pen is one of those aqua pens that you can fill with liquid. I actually didn't in that case because it was wet enough, and then I just flicked. I was going to do the packaging technique and squish onto the page, but I only wanted a really subtle amount of colour coming through behind these photographs. So I just flicked. And the two colours aren't hugely different, but I just love the really subtle change in the navy blue and the lighter blue that comes through from behind, and I think it just lifts the page a little bit instead of just being stark white. And as you also saw, I rubbed a little bit of texture paste first. Those of you that follow my videos know that I pretty much just use texture paste because I don't have gesso and I'm lazy and cheap and haven't bought a gesso. I just really spread that one really, really thin that time. I just love how it looks. It's not really about the way that gesso works in terms of setting the paper and getting it ready to be added with, a water-based, this water paint. That's not really my point actually when I'm putting on the gesso. I just love the extra effect it looks, how it's a little bit off-white, and you can tell that I've done a little bit more to the page instead of just splash some colour on it. I just like that it looks like I've put that little bit more effort and that it was harder to do. It's not hard at all, but I like that that's the impression that it gives. What else can I tell you? Not a lot. I just love this kit this month. I just love all the little guys in it, and I just think it's really perfect. Often collections are full of lots of flowers and really girly things, and I find them really hard to use because I'm the only girl in my family. But I feel this collection is just perfect for either. Like if you've got a little girl, I still think you can use it, no worries. And if you've got a little boy, I still think you can use it too. So I'm really, I just love this kit at the moment, and I'm finding it really simple to use. I have another layout coming up that should be, I think, probably the next one you see maybe, that is of me. And it's using more the flowers and the girlier colours, but it's still not that girly because I'm not hugely frilly, pretty pink girl myself. But it was really nice to finally be able to use some sort of colours and things like that and girly things. I actually didn't make a video, but I did a layout of my husband and I at a wedding, and I just went to town with all flowers and pink and all the things that I don't often get to use if I'm scrapping about my son, and it was just so nice to finally be able to do that. So yeah, now I'm adding on some gold Heidi shine. And at this stage I'm starting to think that I'm finished, but I'm just not sure. So obviously I'll put a title on, that's normal, but I still think that there's something else missing, I think. So I'm just sticking down this photo a little bit more strongly because it was starting to curl up at the edges from the heat when I dried the Heidi Shine a little bit, because I knew I needed to stick the letters on and I didn't want to have to wait. So I ummed and ahed about this heading. I couldn't think of anything cool, so I just went with this kid because, you know, we love him, because in that little circle it says loving you, so I think that kind of makes sense. And then I realised that I hadn't dried the Heidi Shine properly, and I've just squished it by putting the plastic in it. So I get out my ruler, which isn't actually going to touch the Heidi Shine, and use that to line up my letters to make them straight. I use it like a T ruler, keeping that left-hand edge straight against the side of the paper. So I pop on the letters this kid and try and fix up some of the smudges. The smudges on that right-hand side were because the string from the tag there, and then I just put them straight back in. Such a dodo sometimes. So yeah, I think that I'm finished, but then I feel like there's something missing. So I have another look through my collection. I'm like, stars? No, stars don't work. Another circle? Maybe. Still think there's something missing, so I still keep having a bit of a fiddle and a play around until I can sort it out. I look at a few things that I put back in the collection to see if any of that helps me. I look back through that. I don't know what it is that I'm looking for. I just think that I'm looking for something. I know looking at it now that it was probably fine and I could have just left it, but at the time I was like, no, I'm missing something. I need something. And you know when you feel like you need something but you don't know what it is? So I'm now trying to solve that problem. I really loved the words "You rock," but the only black in this layout are on my son's shorts, and you can't really see them because he's sitting down in the high chair, so I didn't think that "You rock" worked very well. Loving This Life was too long, so I trimmed it down and then decided, yep, I'm going to pop it on that side, and that looks pretty good. I sussed out putting it on the other side, but I think Loving This Life Here and Now, yeah, no, I think it needs to go on the other side. So then I do that and think, oh, I know, maybe I need to bring in some more wood veneer. So I just grabbed this little circle arrow from my stash, and I love that it's a circle because it just ties in with the other circles on the page. Again, I try some stars, but I don't like that. I just thought that the wood veneer sort of arrowy things or the chevron things were a bit off on their own and needed something else to tie them in. So it's only one other piece, but I think that that's good. So I add that on. And then I decide that I'm done, I think, and just I'm happy with it and finish. Sorry about that. That was my husband being a pain in the backside, even though he can hear that I'm in here trying to do a voiceover. And yeah, so then I decide that I'm finished, and I actually take all the photographs ready to share with you, and then think I don't like that the photo is flat. I think that's the problem. I didn't back it, and I always usually put a backing behind the photos, so I try my best to carefully peel that off and pop it on this gorgeous rose paper, and I just love the colours in this. So even though you can't tell that it's beautiful rose paper once it's been backed, I just think the colours are beautiful. And then I also pop it up on some dimensionals, and I think that that makes quite a big difference in how it looks. You can't really tell in the photos or the video, but in real life I think just having that little bit of pop makes the photo stand out a bit more, and I really loved that. And also, while you weren't looking, I just got 4 enamel triangles and put those on the layout as well, and a little love heart. So there you have it. I hope you love this layout, and as I said, this was the sketch challenge for the May Kitaholics kits. Stay tuned for more. I've got another video coming up with this kit. If you love these papers and the collection, you can check that one out. I think it will be loaded next week, but I'm not 100% sure. Please stay tuned, and hopefully you love our videos. Please like and subscribe. Thanks guys. Bye.